name is Sarah, professional interior designer and creator of the blog She Holds Dearly. On this channel, I like to talk about making a home beautiful on any budget.
Well, hello everyone. I have been thinking about this video for a few weeks now, and I am excited to finally put this together. It really stemmed from a recent video I did about baskets, how I style thrifted baskets, and at the time I counted, I have over 50 different baskets. I didn't show you every single one because some of it was sort of repetitive and I didn't show you in all of our closets, but I do have over 50 baskets. And it was such a fun video. It was really interesting. I felt like it was really good for YouTube, and for just the inspiration value was really good on that. So then I thought, let's go farther and let's do one on thrifted containers. So other types of containers, jars and tins and French flower buckets and crocks and those other pieces that I'm also always looking for. And let's go ahead and tour my house and just hone in on those items and talk about how to use them. I actually feel like I don't have enough. Now, I still feel like I could use more. In fact, I have a list on my phone. This is one thing I encourage you to do. As you're organizing and decluttering and you think, gosh, that would be really nice if I had a rectangular basket or had a little crate for this, or another jar for these dog treats or something. Make a list so that when you're out thrifting that you don't even have to second guess an item when you see it. I love thrifting for containers. I actually think it's one of the very best things that you can thrift because people just don't care. I mean, some of these things are old containers that food came in, and so to the person who donates it, to them it's free, or the person selling it in a garage sale, to them it was free. But for you, it's a great piece and you can use it for decorations. So the items typically will go for, I mean, $5 and under is really typical. The room that you're gonna use the most containers in is gonna be the kitchen. That's why I'm starting in here. And I actually think it will be easiest if I just do a lot of collecting of the items here and hold them up for you and explain them. Then I'll do a little bit of showing you how they're actually styled. And I wanna talk about what my goals are currently with containers and sort of my process that I use as I find them. Okay, so let's look around the kitchen here. Our first topic is going to be glass jars. So this would be like an Anchor Hawking brand of jar. I have a lot of different ones of these, different sizes, really big ones, and then on down. I definitely think you need to get those. Beyond that, you're gonna run into some other things. You're gonna run into jars like this that are a more unique size. This one is from IKEA. And I think the intention is that you would put spaghetti noodles in this. This is probably what most people do. But I thought it would be cute to put muffin tin liners in here. So you can use them in different ways. So let's practice deciding which containers to put certain foods in. So I have my order here from Thrive Market that I want to put away with you. Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store. They specialize in healthy, sustainable, oh my gosh, someone ate almost all the chomps already. They specialize in healthy, sustainable products, and they do a really good job of getting the prices down. So let's see what we have here. I like this, especially for people that are struggling with not having a health food store near them. They specialize in all of these things. So we have got throat soothing tea. This is my favorite. This is so good right now with all the allergies going around. This is the Thrive Market brand. Now they have their own, oh, someone got into this too. I'm telling you, I can't even get through this box with like unopened items because my family's already using things. So I was saying they have their own personal brand, and that of course helps keep the costs down as well. Okay, Colby's been taking his chewy multivitamins. So proud of him. Cassava flour. If you have not tried this and you are on the gluten-free journey, this stuff is the best. This is my favorite for cooking with. I make crackers with this that I especially love, or if I'm doing something breaded, like we have a really good a homemade fish stick recipe that I made. Okay, and then plantain chips. These are good as an alternative to banana chips if you're also sugar-free. So I love those. Actually, I got these for myself. I'm not going to be sharing this. And then a wild rice blend, that's the Thrive Market brand, and arrowroot, which I use in place of cornstarch. I think it's a little bit healthy. And you can use it as a thickener for gluten-free recipes too. I like to get the chomps for Colby's lunch, and my son loves to grab them. These are healthy beef sticks. So the chomp sticks are gonna end up in a basket here for easy access. Thrive Market website is set up in a way where you can easily filter out whatever food standards and goals you have going on, lifestyle, diet needs. All of that can be filtered really quickly, and you can see what options are available for you with all the different combinations. That works out to be over 90 different options. I love the selection over on Thrive Market. I love that it's auto ship, so I don't even have to try to remember to reorder these kinds of things. And they have a buy again feature where you just look at what you ordered last and you can quickly see, oh yeah, we liked that last time. Orders over $49 ship for free, and there's no tipping or additional fees. Thrive Market also offers a price match guarantee. So if you have something that you love from another store, but you're really wanting to include it in the ease of an auto shipment, you can contact Thrive Market to get the same price. Click on the link below, or you can go to thrivemarket.com/sheholdsdearly to receive 30% off your first order plus a free gift if you join Thrive Market today. Then you run into jars that are technically drink dispensers. And I don't want you to overlook these. Now, a lot of people will donate drink dispenser type containers like this because either they don't use them enough, because they're not entertaining enough, or because the spigots are broken. And there's a couple things you can do with them. You can buy replacement spigots, or I just use them sometimes as a true storage jar. So this holds some flour in it, and you can see I just pulled the broken spigot out and I put a cork in there. But then my oatmeal container is the same thing, and I just turn the spigot around so you can't see it, but it is there. This spigot also does not work anymore, and I just left it there and I turned it around to the back. So look at those drink dispenser jars with new eyes. And then sometimes you're gonna find jars that don't have lids. The lid has been broken. This is another IKEA one. Sometimes you'll pass them up because you think, well, it needs a lid. But I've found that there are times when you don't care if you have a lid. So if you wanted to use this as a vase, or for instance, there's certain things throughout my day that I want to just grab and not have to be bothered with a lid. These ones are perfect for that situation. For instance, my old dog, Kira, takes supplements every day with her meals, but she takes 4 different kinds. And so instead of having to open each one and find a place for the lid, I have them in containers that are open, and I kind of have it set up like an apothecary. I mean, I have a crock for one of the things she takes, this is for her arthritis. We get those at Costco. Then this one, I also have, this one does not come with a lid. So I have these containers all lined up, and then I can just grab, and actually I mark them on there. This one says like dinner for choose. If it's not me feeding her, they know. The person helping me knows what to do. And then I just grab whatever we're giving her, just dump it in there. Now, the only time you run into trouble with using glass jars like this is if you have something that then you need to remember. I keep my enzymes, digestive enzymes, in a little jar because I think it's extra cute. And I think anytime you can change your modern day items and put them in a cute container, you're moving towards a more collected, more antique, old world look in your home. So I'm always moving things around and thinking about how I can put them in another container. So for these though, I want to remember what they were and how many I'm supposed to take, so I might label on the bottom what I need to remember, to reorder, and to remember what the directions are. So you have to leave yourself little clues. Of course, anytime you find mason jars that you like, I have a lot of regular type mason jars, so I don't usually pick those up when I'm thrifting, but I will pick up something like this ball canning jar that has the wire top latch on top with the glass lid. I like those. There's little sizes. There's these half-gallon ones that I really like. I have about 6 of these. You can use these for flour and sugar and rice. And then this one, I actually have 2 of these. These are from Italy, and they're the Fido brand. I have a big one and then a half-sized one. They're the Fido brand. So I saw that and I instantly thought this would be perfect for dog treats. So the dogs know that their little treats are in these Fido jars. Let me see how cute that lid is. Another thing that you'll run into once you begin to put your food items into jars like this is you'll need scoops. So there's 2 things I like to do. My favorite is to use a teacup. So if you collect a teacup and you don't know what to do with it, it makes a really cute scoop. And then you'll also find little pretty scoops, maybe wooden ones, or this one has a really pretty handle. And this is another good piece to be kind of always having your eyes open for. I'm actually gonna put this in my cat food because they need a better scoop. So this is gonna go in there. Other containers that you might find will be Crocs. Okay, so I've got 3 Crocs in this room. Okay, the first one is what I keep my cooking utensils in. And I do like to thrift Crocs. I try to not pay, even for the huge ones, I try not to pay over $30. 10, 20, 30s is what I'm interested in, or $5. So this is a number 1, and the number coincides with the size. 1 gallon crock. So that's what the number 1 means. And I keep all my baking and cooking utensils right next to my stove in this one. Over by my microwave, I have another crock. This one's a 2 gallon one. And I just keep a collection of thrifted rolling pins, thrifted and gifted ones. One of these rolling pins is from Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. And so that's extra special to me. But I don't use all of them, but I do love them for decorations. And I'll get a rolling pin for $1 or $2 when I'm thrifting. And then down below is my 8 gallon crock that I think I paid $30 for. That's pretty much, I've never paid more than $30 for a crock, and you can spend over $100 on a good crock. So this crock, it holds all of the towels. I don't have a doormat by this back door. I feel like it would be ruined in 30 minutes. And so I just lay a towel down. I have some older towels I don't care about, and I every day lay a towel down, and then the dogs can dry their feet off and I can stomp my garden boots on that towel, and then I shake it out at night, I wash it, I put a new one down. That's what we're doing there. So I have rolled up old towels in this crock. Crates are another thing that you can look for. So you'll see on top of the microwave, I have a crate that I painted and I added this little transfer to. It's not old, but it looks old. So anytime you find a crate that has some character to it, I have my bulk spices in old wine crates. I have extra sponges and Ziploc bags up on the top shelf in here. And then I even have this I found at the Ben's. I was going to remake it. I had kind of a vision, but I never followed through on it. This little crate, it smelled really bad, like strong perfume when I got it, and now I got it down where it smells like cedar. But anyway, I keep our matches in here. So you find pieces that just sort of are interesting to you, and you grab them, and maybe you have a list going like I do. I still have many things that I would like to put in cute containers, and you bring them home, and sometimes they might sit there for a couple weeks or so, but I think if the price is right and you feel like it has good character, I think you should just grab the piece and you are going to find a way to use it. One of the things I'll do when I have a jar or a crate or a crock is I will come home and I will literally just start opening my cupboards and my drawers and looking for bright colors and looking for plastic and trying to then transfer them to something a little bit quieter. So you'll see here in my sort of medicine drawer, I feel like I could hide the painkiller bottles in maybe a lidded basket or something. So I could still do a little bit better in this drawer. You can see I have this thrifted tin that says, you know, it's English tea from the 1800s. I have this little copper one that also says tea. I keep stevia in that. This little bean pot that I got when I was visiting my friend Kristen Hoffman. So I'm just continuing to change out my modern day items for containers that are quieter and older looking. Even in my knife drawer, I have this little turtle that was my uncle's, my favorite uncle. We called him Uncle Key. And when Uncle Key passed away, how long has it been? It was right when I bought the house, so it was about 16 years ago. I kept the little turtle that was in his living room because he used to keep his toothpicks in it right next to his chair when he watched TV. And so now I keep toothpicks in it for when I'm baking, and I keep the little turtle in my drawer. So I'm not embarrassed to open my cupboards and drawers right now because in January, I just decluttered the entire kitchen. That's something that we do in my behind the scenes group, is every January we declutter our whole kitchen. And so it's ready for camera. The last thing I want to show you in the kitchen is what I've done with this thrifted marble mortar that I bought earlier this year. So I like to keep my French salt. I buy amazing salt. I'm kind of a salt snob. I've been through a lot of different kinds. I'll show you my favorite one. It's made by Eden, hand harvested French Celtic sea salt. This is what it looks like. I'll link it for you too. But anyway, I'll just take a whole jar. I buy them by the case. I buy them in bulk. And I just dump them in my little mortar now, and then I have this little thrifted vintage spoon that has a little slot in it. So I'll scoop up my salt when I'm baking, and then I'll just, one scoop is a teaspoon. But then if I kind of want to use it like a salt shaker, I'll just tap it and it'll go through the little slotted spoon. So that's been fun lately. All right, I hope you got some inspiration for how you can work on your kitchen and make it look more vintage. I have a lot more things that I could switch out in here, and so I'll be working on that in the future. I also didn't have time to take you around the rest of my house today, so I'm gonna do a follow-up video next week and go into more detail with bathrooms and living rooms and other situations where you can use these storage containers. So next week, when we meet back here and we look at the rest of my house, I want you to tell me how many containers you think I have in my house. And I want you to leave me a comment with how many containers you have in your house that you have thrifted or that they're antiques and you've styled up to make your home look older. All right, that's all for today.
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like more resources, I help women connect and learn more about God in my behind the scenes group and bespoke design retreats. I also help women expand their talents with my Elite Decorating Academy and seasonal decor boxes. I will leave the links to these resources in the description box below.